Hey, what's going on, good people? This your boy Ray. Y'all know where I'm coming from, the boy of the basement productions. Just thought I'd do a 12-bar blues lesson, quick and easy lesson, you know, based off of the 1, 4, and the 5 of any key or whatnot. So real quick, I already prayed, but the definition of a 12-bar blues is just a pattern that is common in most popular songs. It's like, well, it is the most common, you know, structure. The 1-4-5 is what the 12-bar blues is based off of, and that's just the root, the subdominant, and the dominant. So that's kind of getting into music theory, and I would encourage everybody, if you really haven't tapped into theory, you know, really, you know, at least get your feet wet when it comes to like music theory, because it will help you a long way. I know it helped me or whatnot, knowing theory, knowing, you know, the 1, the 4, and the 5, because you start to look for it in music, and when you look for it and when you find it, you could find like any basis of any song if you know where the 1 is, the 4, and the 5 is, which is, like I said, the root, the subdominant, and dominant. So, you know, really get on that theory, because that just you're just adding to what you already know. And like I said, the 12-bar blues is just 12 bars, and all bars is sections. And when we play like the blues bass line, every note is divided into its own sections. So I play it and then I show you what I'm talking about. And I'm in G, because I think you can play real good blues in G. Yeah, I like G. So here I play the 12-bar blues, and every hit note represents a bar, okay? So let's get it. I ain't had to. I got you. So I don't know if you was able to identify, you know, the 12 bars or the 1, 4, and the 5, but you know, when I was on the G and I played this G major pentatonic back up, and I went back up and hit the G again, the hit note that represents a bar, a new bar. So I did the G. The first section was 4 bars of G, and then I did 2 bars of C, which is the subdominant or the 4. Then I did 2 more bars of the G, so that's 4, 2, and 2, which is 8. Then I did 2 bars of D, which is the dominant, 2 more bars of the subdominant, which is the 4 or the C, and 2 more bars of the G. Alright, and that's basically your 12-bar blues. Now, of course, you know, in popular or pop, modern day music, they play the maybe 24, a lot longer bars, but at some point they're going to hit the 1, they're going to use the 1, they're going to use the 4, and they're going to use the 5. That's some type of, you know, whether if it's fragmented, whether if it's scattered, you know, a song is always going to have that root, the subdominant, and the dominant, which rounds it off. Alright, so I just show you the bass line, so you begin practicing. It's good for hand strength, developing hand speed too. So what I did, it was G, B, which is the 3. I say the numbers first, then I say the notes, because as you progress, you want to get yourself familiar with numbers, because numbers will always stay the same. Notes change, but numbers remain the same. So the numbers are 1, 3, 5, 6, root, 6, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 6, root, 6, 5, 3, and then G, that's G, B, D, E, G, E, D, B, G. But if you remember that pattern, it will bode well for you playing it in any key. So, and then after you do those 4 bars, and how you know is just every time you hit the hit note, you just count, and that just represents a bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I'm ready to go to the C, and you do that for 2. And the change I did is after I hit the G for the 4th time, I go down, I hit G, and then I hit the F, E, D, C. Alright? Now if you're familiar with the C major chord or the C major scale, you know that F is 4. So I'm still in scale. I'm just using the C scale to transition to me playing in the C scale. And I just do the same pattern. And you just think of yourself as that you're in C. So it would be C, E, G, A, C, A, G, E, C. Alright, so you do that twice. 2. And when you hit the E, you go back to the G for 2 times. Same pattern. Now, and when you hit this B, after you've done the 2, you go to the D, and you just do the same pattern. So, and you can actually play around with that how you want to bring it. But what I did was I did D, F sharp, A, B, slide from A to B back to A. So then you do the same thing in C, and you go into the 4. Then you go back home for 2. Two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You at the end 1, and that's basically, you know, how a 12-bar blues bass line goes. And if you play Blues Brothers or any type of, you know, old school, well, even now, any blues, they're based off of the 1, 4, and 5. So that's just like a bass line that you could play if you're playing like that upbeat, like a Fats Domino or whatnot, or any old school blues, or, well, I shouldn't say old school, any blues period. And other blues, they just may have you. Four and 1. The 5, flat 5, which is in G, C sharp. And that's it. The 1, 4, and 5. That's basically blues. But more than that, whether if you play gospel, R&B, your song is primarily based off of that 1, 4, and 5. So I would encourage everybody just to try to look for it in different songs you might hear. See when they doing a 1 and see if they change it. Are they doing that 4? Because that really helps you out. And, you know, locating where keys are, and locating, you know, what notes they're hitting and everything. Because that's what I use all the time. If I don't know the exact bass line first, I find what key they in. And a lot of times when since I know the 5 or the dominant sounds like, I just go right to it. Then as soon as I pitch up with it, I know, like, okay, this is the 5, so I just drop my hand down, or I just drop my hand up right here. Or even if I come on a 4, I said 4, then I do 4 3 2 1 just to find me. And if, of course, if I land on a root note, that's when, you know, I already know what key it in. So, you know, like I said, if you not familiar with 12-bar blues, you know, make yourself familiar with it. It doesn't hurt at all, and it helps a lot more than you would think. So, you know, definitely check that out, and continue to comment, like, and subscribe. I need that from y'all, and I appreciate y'all, you know, appreciating me, appreciating y'all. So it's your boy Ray. I'm out.